Hey, it's Just So Trish, and today I am sharing a requested video by Ethnic Green Living. She had a question about how to store her stamps, and so I figured the best place to come to is my mom's shop. Because let me show you. That's only the beginning. There's actually a lot more. Let me show you. So this was a great place to come to kind of show a couple different ways on how to store stamps, how to categorize them, and what to do with your stamp pads. So here we go. Okay, so one of the first spots of all of her stamps is this spot I want to show you. This is necessarily just ideas for ways of storing them, and they're based upon two companies. This is close to my heart, and this is Stampin' Up. So Stampin' Up went with the clear clings a while back, and what's nice is you have the picture on the outside, then on the inside they store, and you can buy these just plain. And you can literally buy, and what there really are is DVD players, DVD boxes. So in the DVD box, I have to show you, as long as you have the acrylic, you're able to hold them. And then there is the Close to My Hearts. Close to My Heart, store them on a sleeve inside of these little 6x6s. Alright, so then you get, there's like this foam piece, and then you have your acrylic is on this, I don't know what you would call this, almost, it's thicker vinyl, like a thick vinyl, and then it stores in here. And you can also buy these separate from Close to My Heart. So these are different ideas on how to store. But what about if you got a wood block mount? So the other aspect is Stampin' Up also used to carry wood blocks, and so they have it set up so they store in these nice thick cartridges. Pretty cool. And then you can take a photo. A lot of times people will take a photocopy of the actual sticker set before you do the sticker mounting, and then you'd be able to quickly see them here. What I ran into is not having space. I unmounted my stamps. So this is from a company that's no longer. It was called the Angel Company. I love their graphics. So their stamps, instead of putting them on a block, they're not clear. There is this foam part. I'm going to put a link to Amazon for this, and it's called a cling. Now I just turned my rubber stamps into just like an acrylic. There you go. And I would store them here, and I would stamp them on a piece of paper, so I knew what I could find in here, and I liked it. And then this is a Stampin' Up one, but you can also get the cases on just a regular DVD case. I'll put a link for the DVD case, or you can go through Stampin' Up. I'll put a link to a Stampin' Up rep I know that is very good if you don't have one, but you can buy one of these. I'm not a Stampin' Up rep. I was, but I'm not anymore. So I converted a lot of mine. There's other ones that have done it, you know, this is how they actually sell some of their stuff, and you know, a lot like that hard acrylic CD case, which is a great way. I want to show you what it looks like if you're in a small space to store acrylics, or if you want to convert it into the envelope method. Oh wait, here's some more. They even she just throws, this is my mom, she just throws them all in here because they're all in one category. I'm going to get to categories in a minute, but first just storing stamps. I will tell you, I have a lot of wood stamps. I actually prefer them cling just for space saving options. But it's nice because when you categorize them, you can put a sticker on this side on how you want to categorize in your categories and what they are. So then you can pull right through them, and when you pull them, you can look and you can see what you have to choose from. Very helpful. I had to come show you my friend Linda's setup. I love her setup. She is very much a close to my heart kind of gal. And I love the way she sets up her stamps. Do you mostly just buy, you don't just buy from Close to My Heart? You buy all kinds.
I do. And in here, this can actually be arranged for your Stampin' Up pads as well. You see,
Ooh,
I have
nice.
Stampin' Up in here and Close to My Heart.
Okay, so she has her, this is her box. This is one, she has a couple of boxes, so I just kind of grabbed 2 of them. And on the front, she has her category. So this one's Flower Plants, Inspiration and Sympathy. This one's Friends and Love. And inside are those same envelopes. These are Close to My Heart. So I looked in the catalog. Don't quote me. I don't sell Close to My Heart nor Stampin' Up. I can put a rep down here for you, but it's not me. I'm just telling you what I got. So the really cool part, again, is that you have these stamps. You can see them, but you can buy these envelopes, a 3-pack of the envelopes, for $5.25. Really good deal. I actually love that, and I love the fact that you can see them. They don't take up a lot of room, and then they store really nice. This double box, make sure I have it right, is 25 bucks. Not bad. And then you can stack it, put it away. They also sell a smaller box, which is $15, and I think it holds up to like 15 of them. I like this system a lot. I like the way that it organized. I like the way it holds. I love, to be honest, I absolutely adore Close to My Heart stamps. I love a lot of stamps, but I love the way the Close to My Hearts are set up all the time. So I love this, especially not having a lot of room, and I like that it's not tempting for all of my kids to have a system that way. But she also has another box. This is her ink. So let's get into like ways to store inks. If you buy from one company, they usually have really great organization systems to organize your inks. But if you're like me, or like a lot of us, we buy inks everywhere. This is again another Close to My Heart container, and Linda has more than just Close to My Heart ink pads in here. Uh-oh, if I can get it open. There we go. I'm borrowing. So as you can see, she has it set up where she has her Close to My Heart inks in here, and she also has Stampin' Up inks in here. She has, I'm rearranging on her, she has Versamarks in here. And remember, you want to store your ink pads down so that the ink is always ready to go on the stamp. If you store it this way, that ink is always traveling, see, the ink is always traveling to the bottom of the pad. You always want it to be at the top. The way, I think I can do this one-handed, Stampin' Up has theirs is, you see that? See it when you open it, it's actually upside down automatically. I can't, there I go. And so does the Close to My Heart ink pads. The ink is actually upside down, and that makes out great so you don't dry out your inks. So remember, store your inks upside down. Again, that's why she has them upside down. You don't want to store them this way. And if you need to, put a rubber band so you don't lose your lid and have a mess everywhere, because messes aren't fun. So let me show you some other ideas on storing inks. Another really cool way to store your inks is with the IKEA drawers. So this is my mom's stash of the inks, and she simply keeps them in here. But you notice she doesn't have them upside down. An idea too is when you're storing them upside down so you know the color, is to take the ink and stamp it on the back so you can see the color really quick without having to flip them all over. That ink. And I told you about if you do order from one company, they typically make storage. So this is the storage containers they have for Stampin' Up, which are really cool. And they let you have the refills. Can you see them? The refills here that match, so you can recharge your inks. Good to know. If you're going to invest money, consider investing money on an ink pad that you can refill. So let's talk about how to categorize stamps. This can be a hard one. This really becomes a personal preference to how you use your stamps. So I'm using my mom's example because my example is all in a box all together, and then I dig constantly, which is not efficient for use. So this is her holiday section. She divides her out by holiday and then by which holiday, and that's in a separate place. So you kind of know that you're going to come here at certain times of the year, not all the time. This is not going to be a high use set of stamps, but when you're in the season, you'll want to be able to grab it. So here's your holidays. Look at all this stuff. Okay, then she gets into the next section. So she has sections of sayings and best wishes. So she puts all of her saying stamps here. Now you're going to run into, when you buy stamp kits a lot of times, that they're going to be intermixed, and that's okay. Usually there's a theme base that you found in the catalog that comes off of it. So she has themes, she has plants separated out, she has flowers, sentiments, flowers, more flowers. We have thank yous, because thank you, sometimes you'll find that thank yous could take you end up with a lot of thank yous. We have funny and comical down here. We have the sea, the beach, Hawaii, squirrels, baby, dog, kitchen. Look, there's a whole section on kitchen. And they're just all grouped together. So she knows when she's doing a kitchen, this is where she's going to look. We even have a section for sewing. Sewing stamps are so cool. And then you have all of these that are categorized. They're not necessarily in a category order. Family accessories, she just went through and put a general, and they're in here. So I think these are separated by who made them. Oh, here's one. Graphical designs and borders, which is pretty cool. Yes, there's a lot of stamps here. Let's finish looking. All right, so I want to show you, since we're already here, some more of all of her stuff. This is what my mom does. This is my mom's, the thing is the lounge. So she has this section called the toolkit. Yes, those are big shots. It's a lot of big shots. And these are all the dies to use them in textures, in die cuts. Look, like notebooks upon notebooks of die cuts. So, if you want, I'll throw another video later on, and I will put in the description of this place and what it looks like. So, here's more of the clear ones. I actually don't think she has these categorized. These are community stamping pads that she has here. These are all alphabets. Plenty and plenty of alphabets. So I hope that helps. I hope it gives you some ideas, massive amounts of stamps, of just ideas how to categorize them. You know, you're going to want to really figure out your categories based on how you use it. Separate your seasonals, separate your animals and the different categories. Just kind of group them together and spend the day doing that. And then just try to put them together. And then organize them as that. I love having all of my stamps unmounted off the wood blocks because I don't have room for wood. But you can easily do tray drawers. I've seen them where they've done picture frames. We have some really amazing things. I hope you stick around and take a look at my mom's shop. It is incredible. I will put a link to it down below. Talk to you later. Peace out.